understood now we have understood about what are the fundamental rights under which a person's right to life or personal liberty have to be protected, and also what are the remedies that are available as per the constitution and also as per the criminal procedure code. Now let us see, there are two important cases. Now discussion is going on in all legal circles, and definitely you are going to ask some questions in relation with these cases. One such case is about the recent arrest of one member of parliament from Andhra Pradesh. You must have seen in the newspapers or in videos or in TV about the arrest of a ruling party member of parliament because he is against to the party which is in power, which has given ticket to him, and through that party only he won the election. But unfortunately, for various reasons, he has been criticizing the party in power or the government or the chief minister. When this is going on, a criminal case is registered against that member of parliament by the police themselves. CBCID police officer made a complaint, and basing on that complaint, an FIR is registered against that member of parliament, and thereafter the police all the way from Vijayawada or Guntur went to Hyderabad, which is a common capital for both the states, that is Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and arrested him and brought to Guntur and thereafter produced before the magistrate. Then the question is twofold: whether they followed the procedure established by law as contemplated under Article 21 at the time and before the arrest of him, and thereafter at the time of production of him before the magistrate, and also when he was in jail or when he was referred to medical officer. The question is about the procedure that is followed by the police officers at the time of arrest and afterwards until date. That is first thing. Second thing is whether the police officer himself can be a complainant and also an investigating officer. If he is the complainant and also investigating officer, can there be prejudice to the accused or the person who is arrested? This also has to be seen. So two questions are raised. One is, what will be the prejudice if the police themselves make a complaint and register a case and arrest a person, conducts an investigation as an investigating officer and files a case? Is there any likelihood of bias? And what is the Supreme Court has said about and in respect of this proposition about whether the complainant and the investigating officer can be the same person? If that is so, can there be fair trial to him? The Honorable Supreme Court recently on 31/8/2020 in Mukesh Singh versus State Narcotic Branch Delhi, while delivering the judgment by 5 benches, it is held that the earlier law in several cases is not good law. It is held that in most of the cases, particularly excise cases, which was registered on mediate's report narrating a confessional statement therein, and in those majority cases, the informant, that is the complainant, is the investigating officer. Hence, we are reporting the earlier precedents on this point in order to bring it to the notice of all of us. And the Supreme Court held that there may be cases where the informant or the complainant is the same person who also conducts investigation, and there may not be any bias by conducted by that person, and in that case also trial has to be conducted, and that is a fair trial. So that answer is already 5-bench decision is given, as per which a police officer can be informant and also investigating officer. Then also his investigation on the point, on the basis of that particular point only, cannot be held as not constitutional. So the next point is, what is the procedure that is established as per law, and whether in that particular case he was arrested and brought before the court and sent to jail in accordance with law or not. First of all, when he was examined by the medical officer, no injuries are found on the body of that person. Then, when he was produced before the magistrate has found some injuries on his legs. Then the noted the same and passed an order mentioning, take him to Guntur medical officer, Guntur government hospital, and get him treated or examined, and thereafter examine a private hospital, that is Ramesh private cardiac hospital. What the police did is, they have taken him to government hospital and there got him examined and submitted the said report in accordance with the orders of the Honorable High Court before the High Court, but with some 6 or 7 hours delay. That is first point. But they did not take him to Ramesh Hospital by mentioning or submitting before the court that the orders of the Honorable High Court are to the extent of examining by a committee of the medical officers formed in government hospital Guntur and not by a private hospital. So we don't follow the magistrate court orders. But after the Honorable High Court has considered the order of the magistrate stating that this accused has to be examined by not only by government hospital medical officers but also by Ramesh Hospital, the Honorable High Court also held that he must be examined by private hospital, Ramesh Hospital, and ordered for examination of them, that particular MP, before the by the doctors in Ramesh Hospital. But they did not do it. They simply, after examination of the accused by the medical officers in government hospital, brought him to jail and did not take him to Ramesh Hospital, and thus did not comply with the orders of the Honorable High Court and also Honorable Magistrate, and due to that a contempt notice is also issued to all the concerned authorities in that case. Then what the prosecution, that the police officers or the lawyers or the public prosecutors who are appearing on behalf of the police says is that the orders of the Honorable Supreme Court is otherwise. Supreme Court has held that he must be examined by a independent institution like military hospital at Secunderabad. So we have taken him to Secunderabad hospital, military hospital, and got him examined. So there is no violation of any orders of the court. This is what they submitted. But the Honorable High Court observed that even before passing of the orders of Honorable Supreme Court, there is an order for examination of the accused by the private doctor, that is the hospital, private hospital, Ramesh Hospital. Why you waited till the passing of orders by Honorable Supreme Court? Why you did not comply with our orders before that the contempt notice is given and contempt petition is pending? So Honorable Supreme Court, while granting bail to that particular MP observed that the report of the military officers shows that there is an injury to the second toe of that person, and there are also other certain bruises and injuries and other things and all that. Considering all these things and also about the health condition of that accused who is operated recently uh, for his art, the Honorable Supreme Court granted bail and put some conditions. What are those conditions? The important condition is that he shall not go to press and speak about this case in future. He shall cooperate with the police and he must go for interrogation if the police asks, but said that 24 hours time has to be given to that accused for attending before the police, and also the advocates of that accused also will attend along with this accused at the time of interrogation. These are all things okay. But the thing is, the fifth condition that is put as per the orders in that bail application is he shall be discharged by the military hospital after he is fit to be discharged. And within 10 days from the date of discharge, he shall submit to the court a personal bond for 1 lakh with 2 sureties each for like sum. So what this gentleman has done is, when he was undergoing treatment in military hospital, when the medical officers wants to discharge him, he said that he is having some more problems. He wants to stay in the hospital itself for 3 more days. Why he did? It is alleged that there are some more cases filed against him and he will be arrested in those cases and again will be brought to the jail. So due to that fear, this person has allegedly has said that he wants to stay there for 3 more days. That is one thing. Second thing, when the police approached for arresting or for taking him to jail after he is found fit, he filed an application for contempt before the concerned High Court or Supreme Court, stating that there is violation of the orders of the Honorable Supreme Court, which has granted bail to him when he is on bail. How can the police again, after he is discharged from the military hospital, take him to the jail? So contempt petition is filed, that is pending. In the meanwhile, what he did is he arranged a special flight for himself and went to Begumpet airport and left to Delhi by stating, without knowledge of anybody or orders of the court or information to court, simply after his discharge, though his bail bond is not executed, self bond is not executed with 2 sureties, left military hospital, went to Delhi. So the government says that he violated the conditions of bail. He did not execute the self bond for 1 lakh with 2 sureties. So since he violated the conditions, he must be again arrested and brought before the court and then sent him to jail. This is what the police are asking. But he says that he can submit the self bond with 2 sureties within 10 days after his release from the hospital. But the important thing is, what this gentleman has done is, after his discharge from military hospital, he went to AIIMS hospital in Delhi and got himself treated. And now he is claiming that he is unfit to travel as per the observations or the medical report of the AIIMS hospital. And so he can't go to the Andhra Pradesh and submit himself for execution of a self bond with 2 sureties. And also the interrogation, if any, also if it has to be done in accordance with law as per the conditions, a notice must be given to him to appear before the concerned police officer within 24 hours along with his advocate for the purpose of interrogation, and he must cooperate. This is also another headache for him. Because if he goes to Guntur, he may be arrested in other cases also, or there may be cases that will be filed now again in order to arrest him. While this is going on, the son of the MP has filed an application before the NHSRC claiming that at the time and after the arrest, there was a custodial violence and the police officers must be punished for for committing custodial violence against him. This is how the things are going on. Now the point is, the general law is that if a person is arrested and is in remand of the court, then he must be released only after he is executing a bond as per the orders of the court in accordance with section 441 of CRPC. But here is a case where the Supreme Court has exercised its powers and said that first grant him bail, because it appears to us that he was suffered with custodial violence while he was in judicial remand or before that, whatever it is. So release him first, and afterwards, within 10 days, he will submit his self bond with 2 sureties for each like sum. This is the order of the Supreme Court. The Honorable Supreme Court, as and when there is a necessity, gives directions or orders which are suitable in order to meet the ends of justice. That is what happened in this case. So it appears that there is no any violation of conditions till now committed by the particular MP, but courts have to decide in due course of time. Sir, madam.
Bhagunath, sir. Bhagunath, the explanation is very, very informative. Bhagunath, you dealt with the entire subject.
Yes, sir.
Bhagunath.
Sir, today I dealt with only one case about Andhra Pradesh MP case.
MP.
There is one more case from Uttar Pradesh. If I have to, if you give me next class, then I will explain that case. Then only the children will be able to understand
Definitely.
exactly what are the technicalities and all
Yeah,
that.
definitely,
Okay?
Definitely. Next week you can
If
handle.
any doubt is there, sir, I am an authority on this subject. So if any doubt is there to anybody, they
please.
can call me. Now or any this thing.
Sai, Yashwini.
Any doubt? Not that you don't understand, you understand well. Maybe I am not clear because we are discussing on Zoom without looking into. If I am not clear on any aspect, you can ask me. Anything. I am an authority on that subject because I have been reading and making various videos and giving advices to many people in that regard.
Sir?
Any doubt?
Any doubts, children?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, Parli.
Yeah.
There will be questions on this. There will be questions on this
Yes,
in
sir.
UPS. Three questions will be there. One is whether there are any privileges to the member of parliament at the time of arrest or after arrest, before production, before the magistrate, or when he went to jail and all that. What are those privileges? Do you know? Anybody knows? Any MP has got any privileges? Any judge has got any privilege? Any IAS officer is having any privilege? What is the law? Anybody? Please read. Next time when you come for the class, please read all these things.
Sure, sir.
So depending upon the person arrested or going to be arrested, his profession or his capacity, power, there is a procedure. What is that procedure? If that procedure is not followed, then the arrest is illegal. So please read it. Next time I will be able to give more explanations to you, and please send them this particular video to all of them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Every class is uploaded,
The
sir.
recorded video, let it go.
Yeah, it is already every day.
So
it is
let them,
uploaded, sir, after the class.
Please, all of you read it again.
Yes.
You will be able to understand not only for the purpose of education, but also in real life, what are the various rights a person or citizen or non-citizen is having. And then when those rights are violated, what are the remedies that are available? If you are having this much knowledge, definitely it will be very useful. You please discuss amongst yourselves and tell to others also all these things. Okay, all the best.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, madam,
Thank
next
you.
time I will.
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah. Thank you very much, sir.